Maya, guess where I'm going tomorrow?
Where?
The airport. I'm flying to Singapore.
Wow, really?
Yes, for a work trip.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Have you packed your bags yet?
Not yet. I'll do it tonight.
You always leave things to the last minute.
I know.
So, what time is your flight?
It's at 9 in the morning.
Then you should reach the airport by 7.
Yes, that's the plan.
Is this your first international flight?
No, but it's my first business trip abroad.
That's amazing, Ryan.
Thanks, Maya.
So, tell me, what's the very first thing you do when you reach the airport?
Well, the first thing is finding your airline's check-in counter.
Right, and that can be confusing in a big airport.
Exactly. Big airports have many terminals, so you need to check your ticket or boarding pass carefully.
What information should we look for on the ticket?
You need to check the terminal number, the airline name, and sometimes the counter number too.
That makes sense. And after finding the counter, what happens next?
You stand in line, and when it's your turn, you show your passport and ticket to the staff.
Do they ask any questions?
Sometimes, yes. They might ask, did you pack your bags yourself? Or are you carrying any liquids or sharp objects?
That sounds like a mini interview.
It kind of is. They're just checking for security reasons.
What about the luggage? Do you weigh it there?
Yes, you place your suitcase on a scale next to the counter.
And if it's too heavy?
Then you have to pay extra money or take some things out of your bag.
That must be stressful for some travelers.
It really is. I once saw a man removing his shoes from his suitcase right there at the counter.
Oh no, that's so awkward.
After the weight check, they give you a boarding pass and a baggage tag.
What's a baggage tag for?
It's a small sticker or paper attached to your bag with a code. It helps the airline track your luggage.
I see. So if the bag gets lost, they can find it using that code?
Exactly. You also get a small copy of that tag so you can claim your bag later.
That's actually really important. I should remember to keep it safe.
Yes, don't throw it away until you get your bag back.
Okay, after check-in, where do you go next?
Next is security check. This is where they check your body and your hand luggage.
I always feel a bit nervous during security checks.
Don't worry, it's routine for everyone. You just need to follow the instructions.
What do we need to do exactly?
First, you put your bag, laptop, and any metal items in a tray.
Metal items? Like what?
Things like your belt, watch, coins, and keys, even your phone sometimes.
And then?
You walk through a metal detector. If it beeps, they might check you with a hand scanner.
What if I'm carrying water or a drink?
You usually can't carry liquids over 100 milliliters in your hand luggage.
Only 100 milliliters? That's so little.
Yes, it's a safety rule. Anything more, you either throw it away or check it in your main luggage.
I learned that the hard way once. I lost my favorite juice bottle at security.
Everyone has a story like that.
What about laptops and tablets?
You usually need to take them out of your bag and place them separately in the tray.
Got it. And after the scanning, we just collect our things?
Yes, you collect your tray, put your belt and watch back on, and you're ready to go.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
It's simple once you know the steps. The key is to be patient and follow the queue.
What happens after security? Do you go straight to the gate?
Not always. If it's an international flight, you go through immigration first.
What's immigration exactly?
It's where an officer checks your passport and visa to confirm you can leave the country.
So they stamp your passport there?
Yes, usually. They ask a few questions too, like the purpose of your trip.
What kind of questions?
Things like, where are you traveling to? Or how long will you stay?
What if I forget the answer or get confused?
Just relax and answer honestly. It's a simple, quick process for most travelers.
Is customs the same as immigration?
No, customs is different. Customs checks what items you are carrying, especially when arriving in a new country.
Like what kind of items?
Things like food, alcohol, expensive electronics, or a large amount of cash.
Cash? Why would that matter?
Many countries have rules about how much money you can carry without declaring it.
That's interesting.
I never really thought about that.
Yes, and if you have nothing to declare, you usually walk through the green channel.
And if you do have something to declare?
Then you go through the red channel and explain what you're carrying.
Okay, that makes sense. So after immigration, you finally head to the gate?
Yes, and that's usually where you spend the most time waiting.
Airports can feel so long, don't they?
Definitely. That's why I always try to reach early and explore the airport a little.
What do you usually do while waiting?
I like walking around the duty-free shops, or just sitting and people watching.
People watching at the airport is actually really fun.
It really is. You see all kinds of travelers, families, business people, students.
What's duty-free shopping exactly?
It's shopping where you don't pay the normal tax because you're leaving the country.
So things are cheaper there?
Sometimes, yes, especially perfumes, chocolates, and alcohol.
I always get tempted to buy chocolates there.
Me too. It's hard to resist.
How do you know which gate to go to?
There are big screens everywhere showing flight information, like gate number and boarding time.
And you just need to keep checking those screens?
Yes, because sometimes the gate changes at the last minute.
Oh, that happened to me once. I almost missed my flight because the gate changed.
Really? What happened?
I was sitting far away reading a book and didn't notice the announcement.
How did you find out?
Luckily, a staff member came looking for passengers who hadn't boarded yet.
That's lucky. You should always keep an eye on the screens.
Lesson learned. Now I always set an alarm before my flight time.
Have you ever experienced a flight delay, Maya?
Oh, yes, many times. It's one of the most frustrating parts of traveling.
I agree. What's the longest delay you've had?
Once, my flight was delayed by 5 hours because of bad weather.
5 hours? That's a long wait.
Yes, we just sat at the gate, checking our phones and eating snacks.
Did the airline give you any updates?
They made announcements every hour, but honestly, it still felt very slow.
Did they provide food or compensation?
Yes, after 3 hours, they gave us food vouchers to use at the airport restaurants.
That's good customer service, at least.
It helped a little, but I was still exhausted by the time we boarded.
Once, a baby cried for almost the entire flight, and everyone was trying to stay calm.
Well, that's a classic airplane experience.
The parents looked so exhausted and apologetic, but honestly, it's not their fault.
True, babies can't control their emotions like adults.
What about food on the plane? Do you enjoy airplane meals?
Honestly, they're not very tasty, but I still enjoy the experience.
Same here. There's something fun about eating from those small trays.
Do you usually choose the vegetarian or non-vegetarian option?
I usually go for the vegetarian meal. It feels lighter for long flights.
That's a smart choice. especially for overnight flights.
Let's talk about landing and arrival. What happens after the plane lands?
First, everyone waits for the seatbelt sign to turn off before standing up.
But some passengers always stand up too early.
I know, it's like a race to get out first.
What's the next step after leaving the plane?
If it's an international flight, you go through integration again, this time as an arriving passenger.
Right. They check your passport and maybe ask about your stay.
And then baggage claim, right?
Yes. You go to the baggage claim area and find your suitcase on the conveyor belt when it's labeled.
What if your bag doesn't arrive?
That's a stressful situation. You need to go to the airline's lost baggage counter and report it.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, once. My bag didn't arrive and I had to fill out a form with my flight details and address.
That sounds worrying. What happened after that?
Thankfully, they found it the next day and delivered it to my hotel.
That's a relief. I'd be so anxious if that happened to me.
It taught me to always keep essential items like medicines and a change of clothes in my hand luggage. That's really good advice for every traveler.
What happens after baggage claim?
You go through customs, where they may check your bags if you have something to declare.
And after that, you're finally free to leave the airport?
Yes, you walk out through the arrival gate, where family or friends might be waiting.
I love that moment, seeing loved ones waiting with signs and smiles.
It's one of the best feelings after a long journey.
Do you usually take a taxi or does someone pick you up?
It depends. Sometimes I book a cab in advance, and sometimes my colleagues pick me up.
That's convenient. Booking in advance definitely saves time and stress.
Especially in a new country where you're not familiar with the language or streets.
Let's talk about some useful phrases for airport conversations. What should beginners learn first?
Great idea. First, where is the check-in counter for this airline?
That's a very practical one. What else?
Can I see your boarding pass and passport, please? That's what staff usually say to you.
And what should we say if we need help finding our gate?
You can ask, "Excuse me, which way to gate 12?" Or, "Could you tell me where gate 12 is?"
Simple and polite. What about asking for a window or aisle seat?
You can say, "Could I have a window seat, please?" Or, "I'd prefer an aisle seat if possible."
What if our flight gets delayed and we want more information?
You could ask, "Excuse me, is flight 202 delayed? Do you know the new departure time?"
That's useful. And at security, what phrases are common?
They might say, "Please remove your laptop from your bag," or "Step through the scanner, please."
What if we don't understand something the officer says?
You can politely say, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Or, "I don't understand. Could you explain again?"
That's such a helpful phrase for any situation, not just airports.
Exactly. Being polite and asking for clarification is always a good idea.
What about at the baggage claim if our bag is missing?
You could say, "My bag hasn't arrived. Could you help me file a report, please?"
These phrases are so practical. I feel like I could handle any airport situation now.
That's the goal. Confidence comes from knowing the right words.
Ryan, do you have any tips for people who are nervous about flying for the first time?
Yes, definitely. First, always reach the airport early, at least 2 to 3 hours before an international flight.
That reduces stress from rushing, right?
Exactly. Second, keep your important documents, like passport and boarding pass, in one place.
That's smart. Losing documents at the airport would be a nightmare.
Third, wear comfortable clothes and shoes, especially for long flights.
I always wear my most comfortable sneakers when I travel.
Same here. Fourth, carry a water bottle, but remember to fill it after security check.
Why after security?
Because you can't carry liquids through security, but you can fill an empty bottle at the water stations inside.
That's a great tip, actually. I didn't know that before.
What about noise-canceling headphones? Are they worth carrying?
Absolutely. They block out the engine noise and crying babies, which really helps you relax or sleep.
After today's conversation, I think I really need a pair of those.
They're one of the best travel investments, honestly.
Do you have a travel checklist you follow before every trip?
Yes, I always check passport validity, print important documents, and set 2 alarms the night before.
2 alarms? That's very cautious of you.
Better safe than sorry. Missing a flight because of oversleeping would be a terrible way to start a trip.
Fifth, download your airline's app to track flight updates easily.
Technology really makes traveling so much easier these days.
Lastly, don't hesitate to ask airport staff for help if you're confused about anything.
They're usually very helpful and used to answering questions.
Exactly. Everyone was a first-time flyer once, so there's no need to feel embarrassed.
What about choosing the right seat for a nervous flyer? Does it make a difference?
Some people say sitting near the wings feels more stable since there's less movement during turbulence.
That's interesting. I'll remember that for my nervous friends.
Also, deep breathing and listening to calm music can really help during takeoff and landing.
Distraction really does help. I usually watch a movie during takeoff to keep my mind busy.
Same here. It's a simple trick, but it works surprisingly well.
What about cultural differences at airports around the world? Have you noticed any?
Yes, actually. Some airports are incredibly modern and efficient, like in Singapore or Japan.
What makes them so special?
They have automated systems, clear signs, and very organized queues. Everything feels smooth and fast.
I've heard Singapore's airport even has a garden and a movie theater inside.
Yes, Changi Airport is famous for that. It feels more like an entertainment center than just an airport.
That's incredible. I'd love to visit there someday.
You definitely should. It completely changes how you think about airports.
What about smaller airports? Are they very different?
Yes, smaller airports are usually simpler, with fewer shops and shorter queues, but sometimes fewer facilities too.
I actually enjoy smaller airports sometimes. They feel less overwhelming.
True, big airports can feel like a maze if you're not used to them.
Ryan, what's the most important lesson you've learned from all your travels?
I'd say always stay calm, no matter what happens.
Even during delays or lost luggage?
Especially then. Getting angry or stressed doesn't solve anything. It just makes the experience worse.
That's such valuable advice, not just for travel, but for life in general.
Exactly. Airports teach you patience, adaptability, and how to communicate clearly with strangers.
I never thought about it that way, but you're right.
What about you, Maya? What's your biggest travel lesson?
For me, it's to always pack light. I used to overpack for every trip.
I remember you telling me about that suitcase disaster.
Don't remind me. I could barely lift my bag onto the scale.
Since then, have you gotten better at packing?
Much better. Now I make a list before every trip and stick to it strictly.
That's a great habit. Lists really do save so much stress.
Ryan, I've noticed a lot of airports now have self-check-in kiosks. Do you use them?
Yes, almost every time now. They're much faster than standing in a long line.
How do they actually work?
You just scan your passport or enter your booking reference, and the machine prints your boarding pass automatically.
That sounds so convenient. Can you check in your luggage there too?
In many airports, yes. The kiosk prints a baggage tag and you attach it yourself, then drop the bag at a nearby counter.
That must save so much time, especially during busy holiday seasons.
Exactly. Some airports even have facial recognition now, so you don't need to show any documents at all.
Facial recognition? That sounds like something from a science fiction movie.
I felt the same way the first time I used it. It scanned my face and let me board without a single paper.
Do you think technology is making air travel easier overall?
Definitely, though some older travelers still prefer talking to a real staff member.
That's understandable. Not everyone feels comfortable with machines.
True, most airports still keep traditional counters open for people who need extra help.
Let's talk about money for a moment. Do you exchange currency at the airport?
Sometimes, though the exchange rates at airports are usually not the best.
Really? Why is that?
Airport currency counters charge higher fees because travelers often need money quickly and don't have many other options.
So it's better to exchange money before reaching the airport?
Yes, or you could use an ATM after landing, which usually gives a better rate.
What about buying a local SIM card at the airport?
That's actually a great idea. Many airports have SIM card counters right after you exit customs.
Is it expensive compared to buying one in the city?
It's usually a little more expensive, but the convenience of having internet immediately is worth it for me.
That makes sense, especially if you need maps or a taxi app right away.
Exactly. Having internet access as soon as you land can really reduce travel stress.
Have you ever traveled with children, Ryan? I imagine airports can be extra challenging then.
I haven't traveled with my own kids yet, but I've watched many parents manage it well.
What kind of things do they usually do to make it easier?
Many parents bring small toys, snacks, and tablets to keep children entertained during the wait.
That's smart. Waiting for hours must be so boring for a young child.
Also, most airports now have family lanes at security, which move a bit faster and are less stressful.
What about priority boarding for families?
Yes, most airlines allow families with small children to board before everyone else.
That's a thoughtful policy. It gives them time to settle in without feeling rushed.
Exactly, and it reduces stress for both the parents and the other passengers around them.
What about jet lag? Do you struggle with it after long flights?
Definitely, especially when I travel across many time zones.
How do you usually deal with it?
I try to sleep according to the destination's time zone, even during the flight, to adjust faster.
That's a good strategy. Do you drink coffee to stay awake?
I try to avoid too much caffeine, actually, because it can make the jet lag worse afterward.
What about drinking water during the flight?
Yes, staying hydrated really helps. The air inside the cabin is quite dry, so it's easy to feel tired and dehydrated.
I always forget to drink enough water on flights. I should be more careful next time.
A simple tip is to avoid alcohol during the flight and drink water regularly instead.
That's good advice. I always feel worse after having a drink on a plane. One last thing, Ryan. What about airport lounges? Have you ever used one?
Yes, a few times, usually when I have a long layover or a delayed flight.
What's it like inside a lounge?
They're usually quiet, comfortable spaces with free food, drinks, and sometimes even shower rooms.
Shower rooms? That sounds amazing after a long flight.
It really is, especially if you have another flight right after landing.
How do people get access to these lounges?
Some people get access through certain credit cards, others through business class tickets,
or by paying an entry fee directly.
I'd love to try that someday, just for the experience.
I highly recommend it. It makes long waits feel so much more relaxing.
Before we wrap up, let's give our listeners some homework. What should they practice?
Great idea. First, practice introducing yourself to airport staff using polite English phrases.
Like, good morning. Here is my passport and boarding pass.
Exactly. Second, practice asking for directions inside an airport, like finding a gate or restroom.
And maybe practice asking about flight delays too.
Yes, that's very useful. Third, try describing your luggage in English, in case it gets lost.
What kind of description would that be?
Things like the color, size, and any special features, like it's a black suitcase with a red ribbon on the handle.
That's such a practical exercise. I'll definitely try that.
And finally, practice small talk, like talking to a stranger sitting next to you during a flight.
That takes courage, but it can lead to wonderful memories.
Absolutely. Language learning isn't just about grammar. It's about real communication.
Ryan, before we finish, tell us 5 useful vocabulary words from today's conversation.
Sure. First, boarding pass, which is the ticket you need to enter the plane.
Second, customs, the place where officials check what you're bringing into a country.
Third, layover, which means a stop between 2 flights before reaching your final destination.
Oh, we didn't talk about layovers much today. Can you explain it quickly?
Sure. A layover happens when your journey has 2 flights, and you wait at a connecting airport in between.
How long do layovers usually last?
It really depends. Some are as short as 45 minutes, while others can be 6 or 7 hours.
7 hours. Sounds exhausting. What do people do during such a long wait?
Some sleep in a quiet corner, some explore the airport, and others even leave to see the city if there's enough time.
Leave the airport during a layover? That sounds adventurous.
Yes, some cities even offer free short tours for passengers with long layovers, like Istanbul or Singapore.
That's such a clever way to make a boring wait exciting.
Definitely, though you always need to check visa rules before leaving the airport during a layover.
Good point. That's definitely something we can explore in a future episode.
Agreed. Layovers deserve their own full conversation someday.
Fourth, conveyor belt, the moving belt where you collect your luggage after landing.
And fifth, duty-free, shopping without paying the usual tax, available after security checks.
These words are so useful for anyone planning to travel soon.
Absolutely. Try using them in your own sentences to remember them better.
Well, Ryan, I feel like I just took a virtual trip to the airport with you.
Me too. It was fun imagining the whole journey with you.
Thank you for sharing so many tips and stories today.
Thank you for the wonderful questions, Maya. This was such an enjoyable conversation.
And to all our listeners, we hope this conversation helps you feel more confident the next time you travel.
Practice these phrases, stay calm during your journeys, and enjoy every moment of your adventure.
That's all for today's episode of Spoken English TV. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Safe travels, everyone. Bye for now.
Goodbye and happy flying.